I am now going to be required, the college can go ahead with this, to put me into a re-education program with their so-called social media experts. And that's also, by the way, a profession that does not exist. Do you believe in God? And I think, okay, there's a couple of mysteries in that question. What do you mean do? What do you mean you? What do you mean believe? And what do you mean God? I should tell you about my suit first. Maybe you care about that. Maybe you don't. The first thing you need to know is these are tiny Elon Musk heads. And this is a Twitter suit.
But why? but why? What I don't get is the rich man bootlicking that takes place in this country. Now with Jordan Peterson, he's pretty well to do himself. I don't know to what extent, but he's rich, he's doing well. But for people who aren't rich, who love to run interference and like protect Elon Musk from the naysayers and the critics, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why? Why are you doing this to yourself? Do you believe in God? And I think, okay, there's a couple of mysteries in that question. What do you mean do? What do you mean you? What do you mean believe? And what do you mean God? And you say as the questioner, well, we already know what all those things mean, except belief in God. And I think, no, if we're gonna get down to the fundamental brass tacks, we don't really know what any of those things mean.
Right.
Or as my son would say, bruh. I love that Jordan Peterson is so arrogant. He's like, he's gonna get into a Bible quoting contest with the Pope. Okay, good luck, brother. Okay, you're gonna need it. And so apparently Jesus is not about social justice. Didn't care. Cared about individualism. Really? Individualism.
Is Jordan Peterson gonna go to hell?
Well, it depends. What do you mean by Jordan? What do you mean by Peterson?
Oh, go. What do you mean by go?
What do you mean by going? What do you mean by to? And what do you mean by hell?
I am now going to be required, the college can go ahead with this, to put me into a re-education program with their so-called social media experts. And that's also, by the way, a profession that does not exist until I learn my lesson, whatever that is, regardless of how much time that takes, by their judgment. Or they can take my license away.
He is right. There is no such thing as a social media expert. Totally made up. Second of all, he is right. That is exactly the outfit you should wear if you're playing a villain in a comic movie. Understand this. This is about whether he keeps his license as a psychologist, not whether he's allowed to say these things at all.
Correct.
Right, and this is Canada and not America. So if he was in America, I think he's allowed to say all those things, and then we fight back, and then, and that's how speech works. And so I don't believe in banning people, I don't believe in banning their speech. His ideas are perfectly preposterous and very easy to defeat. So don't go down that road. Now, as a psychologist though, you have different responsibilities in that profession. There's a lot of things that can get you kicked out of different professions, law, medicine, etc. right? And my wife's a therapist and the rules are pretty strict.
Yeah.
And so is he in flagrant violation of those rules? Probably.